Welcome to an iMortgage training bite on the virtual desktop and network drives. My name is Geoff Donaldson, and I will be walking you through the virtual desktop and our two iMortgage network drives that are found within the virtual desktop. Let's start by giving you a snapshot of what you will get out of this short video. By the end of this, you will be able to access the virtual desktop, locate the H and O drives, and also how to utilize each of these three tools. As we go, I hope that you guys pick up a few thoughts on how the virtual desktop ultimately benefits you. So what is the virtual desktop? You can think of your virtual desktop as your secure corporate computer that can be accessed remotely from the corporate office. The virtual desktop is always clean and fresh since its actual location is at the corporate office where it is regularly maintained by the IT team. You will notice that working through the virtual desktop is much quicker regarding programs and large files because of how clean and fast the desktop is. It is also what we are required to utilize when accessing our origination system in Power. Let's go ahead and log into the virtual desktop where I can show you a couple of these items. For some people, they already have a desktop called a Wise terminal. That is automatically going to log you in to the virtual desktop. For those of you that have a laptop computer like the one I have here, I'm going to show you the easiest way to get into the virtual desktop. First thing you'll want to do is to come over to the Empower internal. You can double click on this and it's going to load a website. This website can be accessed from any browser. You just want to put in your login information, your regular password that you utilize when logging into your computer. When you log in, you'll see this window appear. This says iMortgage Desktop. When you click in the middle of it, it brings up a download here at the very bottom. Click on this launch, and that's going to bring up the virtual desktop for you. At the top here, you'll notice that we have a few things that you can select. This drop-down button allows you to see all of these icons. If you need to toggle back and forth between the virtual desktop and your regular desktop on your PC, then you can click this window button, it'll minimize, and then you can go back to your regular desktop and work. One thing that you'll want to note about this drop-down is that there are a few things that you can do. If you need to send a Control-Alt-Delete to this computer, your virtual computer, to change a program or end a task, then you'd utilize this button up here. There's also Preferences, that window button that we used, and there's a Disconnect. This disconnect will only disconnect you. It will not log you off. To log off, you should come down to the Start menu and pan over to Log Off. There are some preloaded programs that you'll see off to the side here. On your regular desktop, you'll notice that you do have Empower for Citrix. That is your regular production Empower. That's what you'll be utilizing. There's also some programs like Outlook, Excel. You have an H drive here, one of the drives that we will be looking at, and some other resources. Let's talk about the H drive to start though. The H drive is your personal storage drive and it is where you will store borrower documentation or personal information. The O drive is another drive that's on the virtual desktop. That would be your corporate shared drive, and this is where you would access items like marketing flyers that are iMortgage branded. Let's go ahead and jump back to the virtual desktop and show you where both of these are located. Now we're back in the virtual desktop here, and just like we noted earlier, the H drive is found off to the side. This is a shortcut though. What I'd like to show you guys is where you'd actually go in the Start menu to see My Computer here. When you click on My Computer, you'll notice there are two drives, your H and your O drives, just like we talked about. Double click on your H drive. This is what I've stored in my personal H drive. So I have a lot of documents, some borrower documentation from when I was a loan consultant, items of that nature. You can create your own folders in here by right-clicking, hitting New, and going up to Folder. You would just title it and then you can place files into that new folder that you created. Very simple. Let's go ahead and go back one. And now you'll see the O drive off to this side. In the O drive, there are a lot of folders in here because this is our corporately shared drive. The important one that we use often is the flyers branded. Double click on that and it'll open up a list of all the branches. Now I'm actually housed in the Medford branch, so I'm going to find the Medford branch, double click on the folder, and I'm just going to take a look at the generic Medford branch forms. If you click on blank paper, it'll show all of the flyers that we have that you can print onto blank paper. If you have pre-printed paper that has our header and our logos and whatnot, then you can click on the pre-printed. Clicking on the blank one, I'll just open up a flyer for you. This is where you'd find items like this that you can use for marketing. Down here at the bottom, Medford branch, and these would be customized for you personally. Nothing should be saved into the O drive. As this is a corporately shared drive, it's maintained by other people. So this is just for our resources and access only. Now that you know where to access the H and the O drives, let's take a look at some FYI items that are important just to remember. First FYI item is that there are multiple ways that you can access the virtual desktop. The first is by clicking on the Empower icon that says Empower Internal. That takes you to this ldcitrix.ld.corp.local. And that's what you'll utilize only when you're in an iMortgage office, so connected to the iMortgage network. Another way of saying it, when you're inside the branch. The other version is secure.loandepot.com or the green Empower icon, which is Empower External. That one is utilized when you are outside of an iMortgage network connection, or better said, at home. Just outside of the office is really what it is. Now let's go ahead and summarize this for you. So far, you learned that the virtual desktop is a quick and secure desktop that is virtual, and it's where we access and power the H drive, the O drives. The H drive is for us personally. That is what we utilize when we want to save our borrower's documentation or personal information. The O drive is a corporately shared drive for accessing resources like the marketing flyers that I showed you. We don't save anything to the O drive. The other thing is that you can access the virtual desktop while in the office or out of the office and at home. Thank you for listening to this video and watching. I hope that you learned some good things out of it, and if you have additional questions, please reach out to productiontraining@imortgage.com. Thanks a bunch, and I hope you guys have a great day.